In Cape Town, South Africa, indigenous activists celebrate a landmark victory in its almost 400-year battle in reclaiming ancestral land after the invasion by Dutch colonial forces in 1652. Johan Abrahams attended the event.
When the Dutch set up a refreshment station at the Cape in 1652, they gradually displaced the indigenous Khoekhoe, denying them access to this river called the Liesbeeck. Battles over the lush pastures continued for centuries. It is also here where the Khoekhoe won a historic battle against the Portuguese in 1510, killing the Viceroy Francisco de Almeida. Developers, Liesbeeck Leisure Property Trust, acquired the land in 2015. At first, a Khoekhoe group called First Nations Collective was opposed to the development on what they considered to be sacred ancestral land. Developers subsequently agreed on including the Khoekhoe in the development, setting aside land for a media center, an eco-trail, an amphitheater, and an indigenous garden. At an official function, developers signed an agreement committing them to the proposed development.
When I understood the cultural significance of the Greater Cape area, and specifically this area at the River Club, it led me to reach out to the First Nations and say, let us restore your heritage. Let's build an international media center. Let's build an international First Nations cultural center, an environmental center, and work together to educate people about the history of South Africa.
A day that will be remembered and remembered and remembered.
Khoekhoe leader Zenzile Khoisan calls it a historic occasion.
It's a significant and watershed victory that has been achieved today because it marks the right of return. It marks the space at which we walk away from the space where we were disassociated from the lands of our ancestors, and we have returned.
In South Africa, descendants of the Aboriginal Khoekhoe and San groups, currently classified as coloured, are still fighting for recognition as First Nations. The developers say the project will bring significant financial stimulus to the city, creating over 6,000 direct jobs and an increase in economic activity. Johan Abrahams in Cape Town for TeleSUR.
And we have